steam engine is one of the most spectacular works of engineering marvel that the world has ever come up with. But how did it come to be at such an early time in industrial history, and how do they work? The steam engine is just a working engine that uses steam as its working fluid. This is as opposed to, say, oil in hydraulics or air in pneumatics. The simple workings of a steam engine involve several steps. First, the generation of steam, then the transfer to a piston, the movement of the piston as a result, and the return to the piston's original location. Different steam engines through history have used different methods of achieving these steps. The steam engine as an invention derives from Britain and the work of these two, Thomas Newcomen and the later James Watt, for whom the watt, the base unit of current, is named. Despite this, the earliest steam-driven device is a sketch from the Hero of Alexander from the 1st century BC. In 1712, Newcomen developed the first commercializable steam engine. Its design was basic, with a very simple mechanism to direct the steam into the piston. James Watt made huge strides in the technology in his steam engine. This was the first one to be practical beyond the niche application of pumping water out of mine shafts. Newcomen steam engines functioned by putting steam into a cylinder, then shooting in cold water to contract the stream and create a vacuum. This would close the cylinder. By adding a second cylinder separately for cold water, Watt managed to cut the required coal in half from what was needed before. In 1776, Watt's steam engine was introduced commercially in a rapid pace, and this continued through the early part of the 19th century. Despite being so important for industrial purposes in the 19th century, Watt steam engines are now obsolete. The functioning steam engines of today are mainly so-called turbine steam engines. These steam engines would be largely useless for the purpose of driving a locomotive. Rather, they are used in the generation of electricity, both in light water reactors, hypothetical fusion reactors, coal, and other fossil fuel power stations. Turbine steam engines work by passing steam through rotors mounted on a shaft. The steam forces the rotors to turn. In recent years, about 90% of power generated in the world was generated through these steam turbines. The engineering of these engines depends on rotor design. These rotor designs end up quite complicated, almost fantastical looking, to facilitate maximum efficiency. Steam engines are and have been an essential part of both past and modern life. It is impossible to imagine the current state or the development of the modern technology without the steam engine.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.